Hey guys, this is Blockheart here, casting on another game to introduce to you Syndra, the ball handler. New character just came out. She's an AP, and she's basically played around the use of balls. She's like the billiard-based character. And, you know what? I have actually had a pretty good time. This is only the third game I've played with her. I've got a bots game and one other than this one. But, I'm liking, what she does so far. Her damage is a lot lower than you'd expect, but most of her stuff is area of effect. And, I think with enough setup, you could make some pretty interesting, like, teamfight altering stuff with her. So, we'll have to see what the community thinks about her. Currently, it seems like a lot of people, do not like her. They feel that she's, outclassed and clunky. I see a lot of people saying that too on the forums, on the threads. So we'll see. I don't actually know any of these guys. This is just a random game. So it looks like we're going to have Teemo top, Sivir bottom with Alistair for support, and Master Yi is our jungler, which is an interesting one. I kind of like Master Yi in the jungle because you basically have a pocket carry. It sounds kind of strange, but he generates so much threat in fights that the other team is going to have to focus him. So in a way, he actually kind of, takes the focus away from the AP and AD carries because he can do so much damage. It's kind of weird. Like, in that way, I feel that Tryndamere could actually be considered a tank also. Just because, he's got 5 seconds, he doesn't die, and can do a lot of damage there, The only thing you should build on Tryndamere is damage, because he has that survivability. So, let's talk about Syndra here. Like I said, I was gonna. So, you'll notice, range-wise, she's got this Karthik, it's basically Karthus' Skittles, whatever it is, Defile. The area of effect's pretty big on it, and it's actually, placing them feels good. There is a delay, though, so to hit another champion, you've really got to kind of trap them into it. Like, if they're moving, unless you lead it, they'll usually just walk out. You can hit them, like, if they stop to auto-attack or use an ability, often you can get the hit from that. So going against Kennen, I'm not really wasting a whole lot of mana fighting him. I just kind of want to make sure I last hit. So, there's the toss. You can see what I did there is actually grab one of his minions and toss it at him, which feels good, actually. So, Kennen's coming in here to gank. I was a little bit late, and, yeah, missed that one. Yeah, also, Kennen's going to be really hard to get. So you can see, beginning, first rank balls don't do that much damage. It's maybe... 1 bar of health on a Kennen. So, it's not bad, but actually, the thing about those balls, their cooldown starts off at 4 seconds, which is, pretty low. With cooldown reduction, it can get to, 2.8, 2.6, somewhere around there. And, so late game, you can really actually do decent damage, but you've got to stay in a point where you can keep using them. And I'm not very good at it. Again, this is only the 3rd time I've ever played her. Her lift-up move, where you toss something, does do more damage and it slows. So that one might actually be better to rank up in lane if you want to play a poke game. But you can also see the Dark Spheres. They don't have an animation that causes you to stop moving. So you can just walk around and use them. They're very good for kind of kiting people. Yeah, they're just useful. So, I didn't notice this in the game. Like, Yorick, I thought he was playing. Guess he's just sitting on the platform. Yeah, I don't see Sivir very often anymore. When they remade her, she was a very popular pick, and the only thing I remember them nerfing was the duration on her ultimate, which I guess just really, bothered people. But she just picked up a really handy first blood there. And yeah, they're Might be? No, okay. Volibear was trusting his passive to keep him alive there, but now he's going to have a really hard time keeping him off the tower. So yeah, at this point, things are starting to roll. Kind of worried, like, Flash and Ignite tends to be what you take as a mid. Again, I take Teleport. I know it's not the greatest thing to do, but Syndra has huge mana problems. She has very low cooldowns, and her spells are not inexpensive to cast, and so you end up going out of mana pretty quick. So I was keeping it so that I could go back and restock on mana without missing anything in lane. And really, so far, the item that I like to build on here is a Chalice. So at this point, like, I saw that he went to get him. I should have been there sooner. I, you know, came in, but yeah, I basically screwed that one up. I didn't even hit with my knockback move, and also trying to do that also just ran out of mana completely. So that's one of the things you gotta be wary of. Like, with a Chalice, it's a lot better. You'll never completely run out of mana, because when you're very low, your mana starts coming back enough that you can always use one more spell. You can also start pushing very hard as her. She can take out an entire minion wave with 2 spells. So that's good. And yeah, Kennen gets me pretty darn low here. I think Alistair is going to come in and gank. And, maybe Master Yi's also coming in. Oh man, what am I going to make a Kennen sandwich? Okay. So, I go in, I use my ultimate with 4 spheres, and run out of mana, but I pick up the kill with an auto attack, so that was incredibly lucky. You know, it was a 3-man gank, so I can't really take any of the credit for that one. These guys did very good, though. So, I'm going to, you know, push up to his tower, do what damage I can, keep the lane pushed so he loses out on some minions. Then I want to teleport back and actually buy something. Also, Syndra with red buff. So many things flying around her at once. So, Teemo's top, Warwick's up there holding it. Yorick's still not there. I didn't even realize he was gone. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe this isn't the best game to cast, but I really just wanted to show you guys Syndra at this point. So, I'm going to go back. I think I'm going to start out with a Chalice, and yeah, maybe just a Chalice. So her AP scaling is not the best. It's, kind of middling. Like, her area of effect, her orbs have 0.5 scaling, which is good for something with a 4-second cooldown that's, you know, fairly large AoE as well. So I'm not going to say that one's bad, but the rest of it, it seems very hard to burst people down with her. If you got a lot of AP, her poke's not bad. In fact, I feel like she's more comparable to a character like Lux, or maybe Xerath. In-game, you have a lot of safety, you can do things from range, and, you know, you're kind of playing a poke-based game. But when it comes down to, you know, actually killing someone, it's kind of difficult. So I pick up blue thanks to Master Yi. It was very nice that he'd give it to me. And, yeah, that's going to help immensely. Now, I can spam versus this Kennen, so if I need to, I can push the lane. If I want to, I can kind of just go for harass, too. But, yeah, currently he pushed up to my tower a bit, so yeah, actually, the animations on her are pretty cool. They kind of have the Void-like look to her balls. And, yeah, I don't know, like, she reminds me of Cassidon. I guess, like, lore-wise, she was originally going to have something to do with him. I didn't actually read her lore, so I don't know. But, I don't know. I think, like, aesthetically, they did a pretty good job with her. So, at this point, Teemo has his little forest, and Yorick is coming in, so we'll have to see. I think, like, at the end I was wondering if, like, Yorick disconnected for a while. He does level up back to pretty much the same level as his team, but yeah, starting off 8 levels behind is not something easy. I respect that this guy is trying. I don't know, like, it just feels bad when that happens. Computers are computers, though, and, you know what? I don't understand them. Sometimes, these things happen. I've got a friend who quit playing League because, crashes his computer, and he can't figure out why. Like, his is a whole lot more powerful than mine. It's, you know, one of those big old desktop ones, but... So... Volibear's going in hot, but... Okay. So, 4-man gank bottom. That was detected, and, yeah, they just kinda escape completely safe behind their turret. Our team's just going to push. I'm, actually got mid down to about half now. I know that Kennan's going to come back, but, yep, I'm just going to make sure I'm behind these minions. And, yeah. So I'm getting a little bit ahead of Kenan. Like, this one ends up being kind of a farming-based game for me. Actually, though, I do like the play involved in, you know, playing with your minions. They're actually kind of an advantage. It's a little bit of free damage, you know, the enemy has to walk through them. You do too, but just being really aware of the minions, I feel it can help you out quite a bit when it comes to this game. So, I'm well on my way. If I wanted, I could probably go back and just get full-on Grail, red one, and you know, I've got to say, they came out with that item, and I really like it. I don't build it as often as I would like on characters, but if you need mana, it's a really good item. It ends up giving really heavy AP, 90, which is, you know, third or fourth highest AP item in the game. It gives you cooldown reduction, and basically, if you buy that, you have all the mana you need. Like, a lot of people like that are really mana intensive get that in a Rod of the Ages, but I don't know, like, I find with just the Chalice, I usually have enough mana regen that I don't need the Rod of Ages necessarily. I guess if you were someone like, I don't know, like Oriana, or another person who's just like constantly kind of cycling through their skills, you could probably use it. But, you know, with Syndra being a little bit more conservative, you know, I find that just the Chalice is all I need. So after it, like, I don't really have a build order for her. I've got Chalice, Boots, and I don't know. So, we'll have to see. I don't actually remember what I get. I do remember that I end up with a bunch of money here, because I don't go back for a while. So... Warwick is in here trying to counter jungle. He gets spotted by Master Yi, who pings him. Teemo then walks around the long way, but is coming to his aid. That reaction is exactly what you want from your teammates. I don't know how many times it's happened to me where I's the jungler, fighting their jungler right here, and top is literally just standing at their turret like, what? Oh, what's going on? What do you want me to do? Oh, you're fighting a guy? Oh, God, it sucks that he was in our jungle. I'm like, yes, please, come help me. So, at this point, mid's kind of a stalemate. I don't want to really engage hard on this Kenan. I kind of just want to drive him out of lane. You know, if he flashes in and uses his ultimate, he could probably kill me. I do have a little bit of magic resist from the Grail, which is another reason it's good on mid characters. But I'm, you know, his burst damage and, you know, potential stuns and that are just better than mine. But that's kind of a fun thing. You can lift up blue buff and red buff. You can even kind of carry him with you and toss him at people. And it's just something people don't suspect. You walk into mid, toss blue at them, and get the buff. You could just do that just to, you know, it's a slap in the face. You strutting your stuff. So, yeah, you can see when I do hit with one of the spheres, it's starting to do a little bit more damage. It's, yeah, 2 of those. So it does about a quarter of Kenan's health, which is good. Like, if you can get a bunch of those orbs out at once, you can, you know, maybe burst someone down with your ultimate. By itself, though, it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. So it's not exactly a, you know, kind of snap decision ult, you know, when someone gets on you. You want to set that one up, because if you have 3 orbs out, it doubles the damage of it. And you can actually have 4 out for it, but you need basically maxed cooldown reduction and, you know, perfect setups to do it. So, yeah, Kennen comes back. He's getting denied, and his tower is getting, you know, frightfully low. This is why, like, I don't know, this is why I like teleport. I can stay in my lane and let Warwick die again. That one, you know, they were both at full health. I might not have been able to save him even if I got in there, but I should have been more aware at that point. I'm still trying to figure out Syndra, so a lot of the time I'm just kind of, you know, looking at her moves and fiddling around with what she does. So, at this point, like, I just want to make sure that Kennen doesn't have an easy time farming. I'd like to push up to his tower, but I'm worried about ganks. And so when I do, you know, I'm kind of hanging back. So Kennen comes in there. I do flash away. Probably should have used his ultimate there. He might have been able to get me. But we're both playing kind of cautiously at this point. So you can see, though, like, if I want to push, it's easy. Like, she's got a lot of area effect damage. So I do use my ultimate on Kennen there. That was with 5 orbs. And you can see, like, the damage, not great. However, the big thing, and this is the cool thing about her, it leaves the orbs on the map. So after you use your ultimate, you can use that move that pushes them, the pool cue move, and then that will stun whoever those hit. And, you know, with 5 orbs, we're basically talking like Twisted Fate's wild cards on acid. You know, just balls flying everywhere. So that's, you know, I think that her ultimate has a lot of utility built into it, but it takes a lot of, you know, exacting execution to do. But I mean, if you get that, it's a long-range, almost team-wide stun, if you can get it. So it's, you know, something that you want to position very carefully. In fact, I can actually see, you know, it would be worthwhile to burn it on a tank and then just use the balls that it generates more than the damage. Because, again, like, that stun it makes is, oh, Ezreal. Tower diving. Tower diving Alistair. Ugh. So I come in here, Volibear warded, so, when a ward, you know, flies out of a bush at you, it's generally not the best to go in that bush, so I decide to kind of go away the safe way. I'm still worried that their entire team's down here, however, realizing it's only 2, so, at this point, gonna do some of the damage. Throw in things. I got my ultimate. I used on Volibear thinking he's low, but, you know, that passive got him enough health to live through it. And, you know, I don't have a whole lot of AP at this point either, just base damages. We do get a tower dive and get Kennen, though, and then go after the tower. So, yeah, I'm still... my AP is coming from 2 books, so I guess I have 40-ish. Which is, you know, I should have gone back earlier. But, you know, it's not not the end. Oh god, Sivir. Run! Oh. So she stayed out a little bit too long there. A little bit too long. So now, I went back and straight up bought Rabadon's Death Cap. Which is something I really never do. That tends to be something that takes a long time to build for me. But in this game, I just get it, and it is delicious, bringing me up to a flat 267 ability power, which is going to make those orbs hurt a lot more. So this time, I finally do catch up to Master Yi. He just disconnected, so it's a good thing Warwick didn't jump on him, because it would have been a bad thing. Yeah, I don't know. I've been seeing a lot more disconnections recently, like after the last couple patches. Seems to be, you know, every other game, optimistically maybe, that it happens. But you can see there, like, tossing minions. Like, that is, they made it feel really good with that move. The thing is, you've got to kind of pre-cast it. It's a two-part spell. One, you click on the minion you want to grab, or you can grab her dark orbs with it. Then you click on the target for it. And so, yeah, at this point, like, I'm in my minions. This is my zone. If Kennen wants to fight me, he can, but he's going to have to deal with all of them first. And the range on the toss is also pretty good. Like, that's her safest spell. Very, very long range. So, Teemo has... I don't know if this is a good idea. Shroom's poison doesn't stack. It resets with every shroom. He probably should have spaced those out a little bit more. You can kind of make runways for people. So, I'm 2 levels ahead of Kennen at this point, which is mostly just, I'm staying in lane, and I am farming. And, you know, if he gets close to his minions, I'm just going to hit all of them with my area of effect stuff. So, Yi's pinging blue, I'm going over there, Kennen's going bottom to gank. I'm not even sure if I called an MIA on that one, which is maybe bad for our team. Oh, yeah. So, oof. Yeah. They ended up getting that one, and, back? Oh. Probably leave my experience alone. I don't know. At this point in the game, 20 minutes in, you know, laning's basically over. I don't know, I hate people who, like, back ping you 4 times, you know, like, oh, get out of here. Oh, God, is an enemy attacking? No, I don't want you to kill these minions. Well, why? They already got your tower. Because I want to get them. Oh, okay, I'll go find minions somewhere else, I guess. Like, in the beginning of the game, you know, I understand it. You don't want a jungler to come in and push your lane so that your lane ends up perpetually on their side of the map. But, you know, later on in the game, honestly, push lanes as fast as you can. It gives your team kind of that view advantage. So, Master Yi, going to be able to get away from Warwick? Oh, Warwick's just going to go through the tower. Oh, Warwick's going to run into Sivir, who is critting. Oh my god, that did a lot of damage. Oh, that was close. Oh, that was close. So, Master Yi barely manages to live through that one. Oh, Ezreal's ultimate's coming through, and oh, that was a good shot by Ezreal. I'm a little late to the party here. Seems like we were still, you know, like, doing fine. So I'm just going to do that. It doesn't reveal bushes when you stick it in it, but you can cast it in the Fog of War, so that's basically my strategy at this point. I do believe Yorick decides to stay and fight, so I'm just going to use my ult, burst him down. He's going to come back, and this is a fun thing. So that knockback move is Syndra's escape. You know, it doesn't move her, it moves her enemy, but it's actually pretty good. You can usually nail the slow if you get that too, and you get both of those, and it's actually pretty difficult to gank her, or, you know, even chase her, because she can create that gap. It's the exact opposite of a gap closer, a gap maker, if you will. So I, you know, she doesn't have a traditional escape, she doesn't have a dash or anything, but I like the combination of those abilities. It makes her seem pretty safe. That's kind of why I put her in the same vein as someone like Lux, you know. Most of her power, if you want to say, comes from the fact that she can do it from long range, except for her ultimate, you know. It's long range, and she's got CC on 2 of her moves. So it's, I don't know, more about manipulation than it is about straight damage with her. And I think that kind of fits the idea of her character, you know, the ball handler. And, yeah, so far I'm having a pretty good time. I think they, you know, they're onto something slightly different here. We'll have to see, like, I feel competitively people are going to want APs with strong burst damage and high mobility. So, you know, Ahri is always going to be popular, I think, just because she can really be exactly where she needs to be. Syndra's kind of the opposite of that. You try to make the enemy where you want them to be. So yeah, there you can see, like, Dark Sphere, I placed it on him, but he just walked out of it. So I probably should have stuck it behind him so he had to walk into it. But, you know, You live, you learn. Volibear has found Mushroom. I see him, but I don't want to chase him into the jungle, because there's always 6 Garens in any given bush. So, what's Teemo doing? He is hiding by a mushroom. This is something Teemos do that just fascinates me. Like, they're, yeah, choose a bush, and they'll just wait there. Like, it doesn't seem like a particularly special bush. He's just, you know, hoping someone's going to go walk into both of his mushrooms and then keep going so he can pick up the kill. Like, I don't know. It seems to me like you'd want to really carefully ward and kind of set that one up. So, Alistair's up there. I kind of want to make sure he's safe, but I also don't want to get too close to that cannon. So, something cool you can do. Actually, when you're laning and mid, if you push the other guy up to his tower, you can steal wraiths very quickly. If you toss something over there and then put a dark orb down, you can get all the small ones. It's only going to take like an auto attack to get the big one. So she's very able to out farm people, I feel, you know, especially a little bit later on. So Teemo comes up, going through their tower to get there. Cannon's coming in. So I'm going to use my ultimate just to take out Warwick so he doesn't lifesteal up. He exhausts his cannon. I've got that. I meant to cast the W there. I didn't. Missed it. Kind of fucked that one up. That was my bad. I want to get both of them, but I also, you know, I don't want to get caught by grab and then stun. So Volibear's going to stay here. I feel pretty safe. I know he just burned his passive. And so I'm just going to stay here, you know, try to take his tower down, and yeah, he's just going to leave, which is probably the best idea. But I am very high level at this point. Like, I'm level 18, highest level person on my team is 14. And this is kind of what I feel like Syndra is a lane pushing champion. Late game, if you're not having, you know, rapid fire full scale team fights, go push up a lane all the way to the turret and then back off. You know, bring wards, make sure that you're safe doing it. But, you know, you can push lanes very quickly as her, and generally, you know, do it fairly safely if you need to get away. So, that's kind of, I feel like she's a good backdooring champion. So Warwick jumps on me there, and he's after me. I use my push to get him off of me. My team comes in, and you know, that was, you know, if Warwick would have kept chasing me and my team wasn't there, he probably could have killed me eventually. But, like, that push just gives you that extra time, and I really appreciate it. So, Ezreal comes in, I flash away, red buff is ticking away, but I end up with just enough health to survive that, and so, you know, that was incredibly lucky on my part. That wasn't skill at all, that was just having that last pixel of health. So, I think this is the point that the other team surrenders. Yep. But that's, you know, that's it. That's what Syndra does. And as a character, you know, I would recommend trying her out. Wait for free week and give her a shot. I'm having a lot of fun with her, honestly. I feel that she's a fairly well-designed champion. Balance-wise, I'm not sure. She feels fine. Laning-wise is good. Teamfight presence is difficult. You can throw out a lot of AoE, but, you know, her range is a little bit close for the ultimate, so you've kind of got to throw yourself in. But, you know, if you have good positioning, I feel that you can do pretty well. So anyway, that is my opinion on Syndra. Let me know what you guys think about her in the comments, and I will see you guys later. Blockheart out.